When I first started going out in Oxford in 2020, the response obviously was a different. We're talking about lockdowns, and people were very hostile. And Oxford is like an academic town, and it has a lot of the research facilities like the Jenner Institute and so on. So with regards to that, initially it was very hostile, but there were also people who were very grateful. Oh, thank God there's somebody who's out there on the street. I felt all alone. I didn't realize other people thought like me. And so basically you tend to get a range of those emotions even, and we do different subjects, obviously. So in London with the yellow boards, the ULEZ is almost, obviously with car drivers, is almost universally unpopular because, right, it's restricting car movement and so on. So, but I think it's also serving to waken people up to the wider problems and the agendas that I mentioned earlier. And so, yeah, with the ULEZ, you do tend to, when we put ULEZ boards up, that you tend to get a good response. And but the good thing about it is that obviously it's not, there are some people who will disagree and they may drive cars because they still think it's in their best interest to have less pollution or whatever the tagline is. It seems to vary, which I think is very strange as well. Sometimes it's about an environmental emergency and sometimes it's about children with asthma. And obviously it could be about both in theory if it's about clean air, but it's not about clean air because actually, if you test the air in London, in most places, it's very, very clean. And where they do have hotspots, they're not doing anything particular to solve the pollution in those areas. And also on the tube, different studies have said different things, like it's 40 times dirtier. And people tested maybe have made it higher in terms of the contaminants in the air on the tube. So they don't do anything about the air on the tube, which is where they're trying to push everybody to go onto the public transport. But they're concerned about the air where it's actually well within safety standards above ground. And I think people are wise to that. I think people in the cars, they've cottoned on to the fact that this isn't true. So when we go out now, particularly, and it has increased over the time I've been involved. So, and also obviously since the time it started, but as I say, I can speak from my experience from 2022, probably mid 2022 in London. Even the ULEZ, now it's deafening. You go out there, some places, you just get constant car horns. And we're not always filming. Sometimes you miss the bits where it's just ridiculous, the noise and the cacophony of cars going past.